People are comparing the photos of Earth from the Artemis photo shoot to a photo shoot that was taken 54 years ago from the Apollo 17 mission. And people are wondering what is going on. Because Earth looks completely washed out versus the photo from 54 years ago looks rich in color and absolutely beautiful. People think that something bad has happened to our planet. But what really is going on is the Apollo 17 used actual film cameras, which naturally boost the color and contrast. And the Artemis team decided to use a Nikon D5 digital camera. So it's just not going to give it the same color and look. And when they took that shot 54 years ago, the sun was perfectly lighting Earth, making it look beautiful and blue. Whereas the Artemis photo was taken at an angle where the sun was actually partially behind Earth, kind of washes it out a little bit. And since the Artemis has been posting photos from space, a lot of photos that look like this of the moon are being posted by different photographers that make it look absolutely delicious. But they are real photos that have been altered, and we are still waiting for the actual photos from the Artemis of the moon, which will take place on April 6th during a planned multi-hour lunar flyby of the moon's surface. That's all the space news we have for now, but I'll keep you guys up to date.
So let me get this straight. You think this is a real picture of Earth taken by the Artemis crew in outer space? Here is historic photos of Earth taken by NASA, and when you zoom in on these photos, you can find some interesting things. Like the exact same cloud formations, almost as if they are copied and pasted in Photoshop. But I'm sure that is not the case because our government would never lie to us, and space is totally real. Let me know what you think.
So do you really believe that this is the Earth right here, taken by the Artemis crew? Do you really believe that for 1 second? And if that's not enough, here are some historical photos of the Earth taken by NASA. Again, what do you notice about these photos right here? And if that's not enough, here is a side-by-side comparison of the Earth when the first crew went to space and when the second crew, Artemis 2, went to space. Again, what do you notice about this? Because honestly, this looks like a CGI rendering. Obviously, these photos of the Earth are very real, space is real, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Honestly though, come to your own conclusion, but come on. This stuff looks laughable.
People are comparing the photos of Earth from the Artemis photo shoot to a photo shoot that was taken 54 years ago from the Apollo 17 mission. And people are wondering what is going on. Because Earth looks completely washed out versus the photo from 54 years ago looks rich in color and absolutely beautiful. People think that something bad has happened to our planet. But what really is going on is the Apollo 17 used actual film cameras, which naturally boost the color and contrast. And the Artemis team decided to use a Nikon D5 digital camera. So it's just not going to give it the same color and look. And when they took that shot 54 years ago, the sun was perfectly lighting Earth, making it look beautiful and blue. Whereas the Artemis photo was taken at an angle where the sun was actually partially behind Earth, kind of washes it out a little bit. And since the Artemis has been posting photos from space, a lot of photos that look like this of the moon are being posted by different photographers that make it look absolutely delicious. But they are real photos that have been altered, and we are still waiting for the actual photos from the Artemis of the moon, which will take place on April 6th during a planned multi-hour lunar flyby of the moon's surface. That's all the space news we have for now, but I'll keep you.
Damn, bro, everyone's going crazy off these pictures that just came out of the Earth from space because it's not looking too good for us. Our atmosphere is looking crazy. People are thinking we went back in time with technology with how the picture looks. I don't know, bro. All I'm gonna say is like 40 years ago, our Earth looked way better than what it looks now. I don't know if this is like AI, but why do we look like we're going back in time with not only just technology, but like our Earth in general? Like, this thing looks horrible, bro. I also think the weirdest thing of seeing this picture is the fact that like this is where we're living, bro. We live in this like circle sphere ball that's just blue in like a place that's very dark that's called space. I mean, in a very philosophical way, if you look at this is very humbling, but also very scary. I don't know, it just sparks the question, like, do you guys believe the Earth is degrading and we're going like downhill from here? Do we need the aliens to come and save us? I don't know. I'm still waiting on them to tell us that we can move to Mars. I'm one of those people that I would go for free, bro. I would do anything to get out of Earth at this point, bro.
We have some news right now. NASA has released stunning new images of Earth, our planet, from the Artemis II space launch. This is from the astronauts currently in space. I mean, just beautiful. Take a look at that. Here's another image. They titled it Good Morning World. You can see the Earth right there. This is from the space capsule that they're in. The Artemis II mission is on its way to the moon. 4 astronauts, first manned flight to the moon in a very long time. So it's very exciting, but this is just stunning. So interrupting your timeline of all the craziness to show you the Earth.
Let's talk about what this image is and what it is not. Because I'm seeing a lot of people pass this around like NASA just released the first full image of Earth in 54 years. And that's not exactly what's happening here. First of all, this is a real photo, and it was taken by Artemis II Commander Reed Wiseman from the Orion spacecraft window right after the translunar ejection burn. NASA also says you can see 2 auroras and zodiac light in this image, and we'll get back to that. So right now, a fair comparison would be to the blue marble image from Apollo 17 in 1972 and Earthrise, which is one of my all-time favorite photos, taken during the Apollo 8 in 1968. Those are fair comparisons, but I think people are starting to recycle kind of the same old talking points. Like, cool, Earth from space again. And yet, there's a lot more going on here than just that. This is not just the bright blue marble. This is the night side of Earth. It's our planet glowing with the systems that keep life possible. So you've got auroras in this shot, which means you are seeing Earth's magnetic field interacting with the charged particles from the sun. That's not just pretty, it really matters. And then you've got this zodiac light, which is sunlight scattering off the dust that's in our solar system. So even in this one image, you're not just looking at Earth, you're looking at Earth in relationship to the rest of the solar system. And this is where I want to make one other point. Sometimes people see an image like this, and because it looks unusual, they start to get weird about it. But unusual doesn't necessarily mean fake. So this is one of my photos, and I took it at night, close to midnight, out on the water in my kayak, under moonlight. And the reason I want to show you this is because we forget how bright the moon actually is. Moonlight is, of course, reflections of sunlight. And it's important to remember, when we change the lighting of something, familiar things can start to look surreal without necessarily being fake. So when I look at this Artemis image, what gets me is not just that it's beautiful, it's that it shows Earth is a living world, a protected world, a glowing world, a world with an atmosphere and a magnetic shield. It has light, motion, and weather systems. And all of this is what makes this planet that we're living on so freaking magical.
This is a photo of the Earth taken from the Artemis II, exactly 12 hours after the first photo of the Earth was taken. Do you notice anything? It's literally the exact same photo, the exact same cloud patterns, and Africa is in the exact same position. I thought the Earth was rotating at 1,000 miles per hour. Not only that, it's orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles per hour. All of that movement through outer space, and the Artemis II managed to take a picture of the Earth in the exact same position 12 hours later at nighttime with the exact same cloud patterns. And this is the Artemis II halfway to the moon. Yeah, propelling through the void of outer space, which is impossible. And they were halfway. Look at the size of the moon when you're on Earth. Like, just go outside and look right now. Do you see the size comparison? How are they halfway to the moon, but it's way, way, way smaller than it would be if you're on Earth, when you're further away from the moon when you're on Earth? And look at this video. The Artemis II launching, it literally looks like the Artemis II crew is ziplining out of the rocket. Look, you see that? Have you noticed how they didn't show anyone in the crew cab once it was actually launched? That's because they ziplined out of the rocket. That is a giant helium balloon that is shooting way up into the air and then falling into the Atlantic Ocean. But I made this video entirely for entertainment purposes only. Of course, space is real.
Have you seen the incredible photo that Reed Wiseman took of the Earth? This is the first time astronauts have seen a full disk view of the Earth since Apollo 17 in 1972. Let's talk about what we're seeing in this image. You can see the aurora up here and then down here as well. You can also see the sun's light coming in kind of right here, and down on the bottom right, you can see Venus. I also really like this photo because this big thing in the middle, that's Africa. So we usually see a very certain view of the Earth thanks to maps and stuff like that, but you can see Africa right here, Europe right here. And I think it's just worth comparing this photo to the big blue marble photo from Apollo 17. Now, again, this was the last time astronauts had a full disk view of the Earth. I just find it really interesting because, we've talked a lot about Earthrise. I have talked a lot about Earthrise if you read my piece at National Geographic, but blue marble is also really important and influential, and it's the first thing I thought of when I saw this amazing photo from Artemis 2. Lunar Flyby will be Monday afternoon Eastern Time, and I cannot wait to see what kind of images.
Okay, somebody is lying or they're full of it. Because if we look in the older photos of the globe, you don't see any stars. But in the newer photos, you see stars within the picture. But however, if you listen to interviews from Charlie Duke from Apollo 16, I think it was, he claims that you can't see stars in outer space.
Oh, you can't see whenever the sun's shining, you don't see any stars.
In space.
In space.
Wow.
So all the way to the moon, unless you're looking at a telescope that will capture the light, you see some stars. But looking out the window, you do not see, the only objects you see are the sun, the moon, and the earth.
Wow.
It's black.
So only because at night on Earth you're facing away from the sun,
Yeah.
you can see the stars. But when you're in the spacecraft, you're always in direct sunlight, so you cannot see the stars.
Yeah.
Wow.
All the way to the moon, you're in direct sunlight.
Right.
Okay. When you get to the moon and you go behind the moon and it's night on the moon, you look out and you can see the stars.
On top of that, all these new pictures that they've sent us, we don't see any of this. None of these satellites are seen in any of the new 2026 photos that NASA has given us. They're lying.